These Canadian flags represent the lives lost to the novel coronavirus at this long-term care home north of Toronto, where testing found the highly contagious B.1.1.7 variant first discovered in the UK.
My greatest fear is getting that phone call saying that my mother has passed away.
Those thoughts consume Debbie Griggs' every fiber. Her 75-year-old mother lives at Roberta Place and is one of more than 125 people infected with COVID-19.
So many people have passed away unnecessarily, and it doesn't seem like they're even addressing it.
Grigg believes not enough is being done to contain new variants of the virus. The federal government only recently announced further travel restrictions, including mandatory testing and quarantine measures. But the Canada Border Services Agency says there are many exceptions. Since the beginning of the pandemic, there have been more than 8.5 million border crossings. That includes 4 million commercial vehicles, 2.5 million passenger vehicles, 1.3 million international air travelers, and 500,000 people flying into Canada from the U.S. Nearly 75% of those trips were considered essential. This means these travelers were not required to quarantine.
As soon as you create exemptions, you're creating a hole in the system that has to be managed.
According to Canada's public health agency, thousands of international and domestic flights may have exposed Canadian travelers to COVID-19, and it is unclear who is responsible for notifying passengers who may be infected. In a statement, a spokesperson for the Public Health Agency said if the province or territory determines that notification to potential contacts is required, the Public Health Authority can follow local protocols for publicly communicating when a case has had a history of travel during their period of communicability. Brad Waters is a researcher at the Teaching Hospital in Toronto.
We know that the variants are still increasing in number. And if we don't do something about them, they will eventually break through. They'll become the dominant form of the virus here in Canada, and the measures we have in place won't be strong enough to contain them.
Which is why Grigg says Ottawa should have implemented stricter travel restrictions sooner.
So again, they failed us.
Morganne Campbell, Global News, Toronto.